Welcome to the Brass and Woodwind shop. I have an instrument in my shop, a valve trombone. It has a problem with the bottom of the casing. The threads are messed up. If you try to put the valve cap on, it goes on sideways. Also, the bottom part of the casing where the threading is slightly out of round. I don't know if you can see that in the video or not. It's not really bad, but it's enough to cause a problem. This repair will work for any piston casing on any instrument, and it just happens to be that the Yamaha valve trombone has the same size valve casings as the trumpets, so I can use the same tool for this instrument as I can for the trumpets. The tool that makes this job easy is this Pliers. I don't know if anybody sells these pliers, but you can make them. I chose to use this pair of pliers because the tip broke on it and it really wasn't good for anything else. This type of pliers will not work, the one that's a little wobbly. It has to be one with a precision fit that's really tight and doesn't wobble around. You start by finding a valve cap that will fit on the instrument, and you do not use one of the customer's valve caps for this job because you're going to destroy the valve cap. So it needs to be one that you can sacrifice. And the valve cap will not go on this one because it is damaged, so you need to try it on a different one. And that fits, it's the correct threading, so it's good. This one came from a Yamaha trumpet that is the same threading as this, so it should work. I already have one made for a Yamaha trumpet bottom casing, but if I needed another instrument, I would have to solder a different one onto here, and I would just use a different pliers, and then I would have multiple ones. But I have a Yamaha already because this is the most common one that I see with damaged bottom piston casings. And also, if the top of the casing was causing the problem, I could do the same thing with an upper valve cap. I have my soldering jig set up, and I have the pliers in here, and notice I have it open just a tiny little bit. The valve cap is in the other one, and just bring that up to there. See how I line that up? You want the two parts of the pliers right in the middle of where the valve cap is. When that's lined up, you can silver solder the two together. I'm not actually going to solder these together because these are my good pliers and I don't want to ruin them, and I also have one, so I don't really need to. To do this job, you need the silver solder, and it's also known as hard solder. And this is the high temperature stuff, so you need to use all the safety cautions when soldering. Soft solder will not work. It will fall apart the second you try to use it. For links to videos on soft soldering and hard soldering, look for the links in the description below. When you solder, make sure that it's soldered on both sides of the pliers. When you're done soldering, take a jeweler's saw with a very small blade. Just cut right down the middle of the valve cap until you're all the way through. Then you have a tool that can fix the valve casing threads. You take this and you very carefully line it up, and okay, now it's lined up. Now I'm going to take this and squeeze as I am turning it, and then just work it back and forth for a while. Make sure that this is lined up, because if it's not, you're going to make it worse. Then when you've done that, you can pull it off and check the valve cap and see how it fits on there. And this one fits well. It doesn't always, but if it doesn't, then you just try it again. And if it does go on there, but it goes on kind of hard, but it is straight, you want to make sure that it's not cross-threaded. If it's sideways, then you'll have more problems. If it goes on straight, but it's still kind of hard to twist on there, you can take a rawhide mallet and tap it. But before you do that, also be careful. You can put on the other valve caps, and that will help protect them. Then tap the valve cap. Just make sure you don't hit the tubing or anything else. You only want to hit the valve cap. And that should help. If it still doesn't work, try to tap it more with the valve cap, or there may be other problems on it too. But about 95% of the time, this should work. If you're not comfortable doing this repair, don't try it. It's usually best if you don't feel comfortable doing a job, just leave it to someone else to do it. I hope this video is helpful, and please feel free to subscribe for more band instrument repair videos.